you guys know what time it is when you hear that intro. It means you in the place to be. This is the Locker Room Show. We're about to get after it because we got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. It is full throttle football season, so let's get into it. You know, my boy that holds me down every single Thursday to the far right from St. Louis, none other than Q, the Guru. What's going on, Guru?
Man, I'm chilling. Hey, man, it's playoff time, man. That's all I got to say. I keep telling y'all, hey, it's playoff time. If you want to get on the map, you better make some plays in the playoffs. You put yourself on the map in a hurry. You're going to keep hearing it from me.
All right. So, hey, Guru already told you what you need to do if you're a young, aspiring football player.
That's
and
right.
Then tonight's guest is right up your alley for all the players, parents, coaches out there. This is somebody, you guys, that I've known since I was a young buck, probably about 14 years old. Same alma mater. He was a bad man at Archbishop Riordan High School, playing DB wide receiver. Fortunate enough, you guys, to go off to Washington State and play in the Pac-12, now unfortunately defunct league. But and coming back, it's coming back, baby. But did his thing up there, you guys. Decided to come home and has the boys right at Archbishop Riordan High School. They're winning games. They're sending kids off to college, and he's a big part of that. And that's none other than the great Terrell Henderson. What's going on, T?
What's going on, little bro? How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey, dude, you know, it's been, we're brothers, long time coming, man. I know you got practice, you're hustling, getting ready for playoffs. I appreciate you, man, holding us down.
Definitely.
No doubt. You always looking out for us. Anytime we make that phone call, you there for us, the program, the school, and the kids. So I have to return the favor. No doubt.
Yes, indeed, baby. So if you're joining us live, welcome. Please make sure you like, subscribe to the channel every single Thursday, you guys. We bring in the best of the best from the football industry. No couch, armchair quarterback people that have really done it and know what they're talking about to serve you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed tonight's show. I know you will. Let's get into it. So once again, you guys, I got the man, the myth, the legend, straight out of Riordan High School, doing big things. Riordan is rolling right now. For those that don't know, this is a school in the San Francisco Bay Area producing a lot of big-time talent right now. Happen to be a Hall of Fame member from the school, so always proud to see my boys do good. We got the great Terrell Henderson with us. Like I said, played at the school, went to Washington State, and now back at the school. So let's get into it, T. I mean, you came home, man. I mean, you had all these years to maybe come back and coach, and you decided to do it now. What made now the right time to come back to the Dun?
Well, this is actually my second stint at Riordan. So if you recall, coached with Waters and Orris, who coached us in high school, right? And so I coached once Orris had took over the program from offensive coordinator to head coach. He had asked me to come along, and that was in the mid-2000s, right? So I coached at Riordan for a few years there, and then just life, kids, things like that, wasn't able to like align everything and give our full all-out commitment for a long term. So had to hang up the coaching cap, but always stayed involved with the school as a booster, as an alumni, mentoring kids, helping them get to the next level, with former teammates that are now college coaches and things like that. So always stayed connected to the program in some capacity. Why now? I'm sure, a lot of you had Coach Adir Ravapati on your show. I think it was like either earlier this year or last year, right? And so Coach Adir is a good dude. He's a real good dude. And I met Coach Adir about 3 years ago through Coach Ray Lockett, who is tied to Menlo Atherton. And Coach Adir. And so he introduced us when Coach Adir was interested in the head coaching position at Riordan. We talked, shared football X's and O's, and he asked if he, came aboard, would I be willing to come on his staff? So he ended up getting a head coaching job. He invited me in for a meeting. We talked X's and O's. and then offered me the cornerbacks position coach. So we have a cornerbacks coach and a safeties coach. So I'm the cornerbacks coach.
That's amazing, man. And obviously, super excited when I heard you were taking the job and we were going to have a homegrown person in the building. So you guys been killing it, man. And thank you for coming on back home, dude. Let's get on to our next topic, you guys. And for those that are joining us for the first time, all of the topics are on the bottom ticker. We get in, we get out, short and sweet. And you guys are totally open to comment on anything that we're talking about, you guys. This one's big, man. Riordan has always been a school that's produced talent. I mean, obviously, you went to Washington State. I went to Colorado. But, you know, a lot of people, especially OGs, would recognize Riordan as maybe a basketball school. And I know they're cooking in basketball now, but they're not overshadowing the football program. And I want to ask you, man, because I didn't get to go to the playoffs, T, when I was in high school. I got to go to college, but I didn't get to go to the playoffs. And that kind of was like a bittersweet, man. And now you guys are in the mix to possibly have state championships come through Riordan. So I want to ask you, maybe since you're coaching, what would you say, maybe even for an aspiring coach listening, what's like 3 things that are essential for a program flip, for a program to go from nothing to something?
Yeah. So piggybacking off of the previous question and Coach Adair, you know, one of the things that intrigued me and got my buy-in to come aboard with a coaching staff along the way, I had been offered, you know, JC coaching positions at other high schools. And for me, it just overall wasn't a fit, right? But when I sat down and talked with Coach Adair, I could see that this man really knows not only how to coach, but had a structured plan. And so his structured plan, we talked about it. He went through his PowerPoint, and this man had it dialed up to where you could see the bricks from the ground up that were going to be built. And that was something that I wanted to be a part of, obviously bleeding purple and gold, staying connected heavily to the program. And I wanted a part of that. And I wanted to be able to say and give my expertise to the kids, to the school, to Coach Adair's staff. I wanted to be able to give my expertise for that turnaround. And so he had a structured plan, and I believed in his plan. And so I came aboard. Number 2, I would say you need accountability to that plan, you know, not only from just the players, but the coaches as well, right? And so Coach Adair demands a lot from everybody in the program, from himself, from the coaches, to the players, to everybody involved. He doesn't let anything slide. And so just going back into spring ball, one of the things we talk about and huddle up when we are planning for the summer, for the spring ball and whatnot, is saying, hey, listen, don't let the little things slide. Don't let the little things slide at all. And, stay on top of that. The technician work for players and things like that, you got to really stay dialed in. Okay. And then the third thing is, I would say, we had, Crusader brotherhood. We had that love, Crusader love, right? And so we had that buy-in there. We hold each other accountable. Players picking each other up. Whether you're tired, blood, sweat, tears. So that brotherhood and that love. And so those 3 things. I can go down the list, but those 3 things really stick out and resonate. The love has helped. The brotherhood love has helped change the trajectory of our season after starting off 2-4 this year.
Wow, that's huge, man. And once again, for those that don't know, Riordan's always produced talent, but we in a very tough conference, West Coast Catholic Athletic League, you don't get to go through that league easy. And Riordan is starting to get to the top of that league, but it's been a lot of hard work. Q, I know that where you came from, man, you guys had a big-time program, obviously talent, but what outside of the talent made you guys special?
Man, it's like I always say, man, with Hazelwood East, out of St. Louis, man, where I'm from, it was, man, and that's why we had, like the Terrell Fletchers or Reggie Germany's. It was the bar set, man. It was, it was, man, we had so many people, like, where our community was behind us. The bar was set so high year after year after year. It was almost like we had this thing, like, if it was state or nothing. Like that's just what it was at Hazelwood East, and that's what we've always prided ourselves on. It was this, man, like you gonna get the state, like, one loss, and it's like, that's unacceptable, and I think that's, kind of where you got those programs like De La Salle, what they base themselves off of is, man, is can you get as close to perfect as possible,
No,
and I was, and again, in addition to that is, like we always say, man, granted, it was, we were a public school, is getting your community behind you, man. That means a lot. That means a lot, because the community is that second layer in addition to the coaching staff.
Yeah. No, that's huge. And we got the great Jimmy Rucker coming in saying little things become big things, and that can be good or bad. So, no, 100%, Jimmy.
Right.
I know you've been around plenty of football teams, and we all know what it is. We are with the great Terrell Henderson, you guys. This is a San Francisco Bay Area great. Went off from Riordan High School, played at Washington State back when Washington State was real legit. And then you guys decided to come home, help out his football program right where he graduated, and is doing big things, you guys. We are on to our next topic, you guys. And this one really caught my attention. I think this is interesting to get you guys' perspective on this. But quarterback from Vanderbilt, you guys, Diego Pavia, has been balling out this year, actually beat Alabama. They're on track, going to a bowl game, having a great season. But check this out, you guys. He's got a pending lawsuit against the NCAA. Everybody's got a lawsuit against the NCAA today. And he's saying, you guys, that he's short some eligibility. They're talking about this should be it for Diego Pavia, but he played at New Mexico State before Vanderbilt, and before New Mexico State played 2 years of JC ball. But what he's saying, you guys, is that guys go to the military, don't lose no eligibility. Guys go to prep school, don't lose no eligibility. Why should I lose eligibility for not – I wasn't in the NCAA. Why should I lose NCAA eligibility? So that's what the lawsuit is about, you guys. And I'll start it off with you, Terrell. We didn't go to JC, man, but we got plenty of homeboys that did and could have probably benefited from some more eligibility. What's your feelings on the rule? You think it should stay the same as always, or you think maybe he's got something to this?
Man, how old is this guy? 32?
Hey, there's some guys out there close. It's a couple of guys out there close.
Man, listen, I know a little bit about this situation, right? The NCAA, like you said, someone's always trying to sue them for something, man. But, part of the problem with the NCAA is too much ambiguity, right? It's too many gray areas. It's too much lack of inconsistency across the board, right? And so folks are taking advantage of those opportunities to address those gray areas and that ambiguity and things like that. Hence why we're in this crazy NIL world right now. But as far as this young man goes, I'm not sure how old he is. I know I've been following him because our quarterback, Mike Mitchell Jr., actually is a commit to Vanderbilt. And he's a junior with our team at Riordan. So I've been following Vanderbilt a little bit. Saw they upset Alabama and Auburn. That's correct, right? Alabama and Auburn.
Yeah.
As far as his eligibility goes, listen, man, if you're going to, it's twofold for me. If you're going to let these guys go to the military, go on these missions and things like that for religious reasons and purposes and whatnot, then you need to stay consistent, right? And have that criteria outlined specifically for what it is. It can't be that gray area and all of that ambiguity as to what's allowed and what's not allowed, and things like that. But I also don't feel like you should have these grown men damn near close to the age we just joked about, playing 17, 18, 19-year-old kids in college either, because obviously certain programs build their programs with, BYUs are known for having older players, right? In the past, they go on their Mormon missions for religion purposes, and I respect that, right? But they come back and, you have these 24, 25-year-old freshmen, right? And so things like starting the eligibility clock and things like that. So I just feel like for the consistency, for the physicality, and all of those things, for the just for the parity, you know what I mean? That it needs to be outlined and streamlined and be defined a lot more clearer in regards to what is allowed and what is not allowed as far as playing time and eligibility. And I think there should be an age cap at some point. You know what I mean? I really do. I really think there should be an age cap, because you shouldn't be almost 30 years old playing college football, man.
Okay, let's talk to me, Guru. I mean, Pavia saying, like Terrell said, cats go on missions, they get married, do their thing, come back. They didn't lose any eligibility. Why should I? I'm just like the prep school kid. What's the Guru say?
I mean, he'll more than likely he'll win that legal battle because of what Terrell just mentioned. Obviously, the most obvious thing that we always saw in our era, other than the military, was guys playing baseball. That was the most common thing that we saw. You like Chris Winkie, and he was at Florida State in like 27. That we saw, but it was the same rules apply. He was playing baseball, in the minors, but didn't lose any eligibility. So, I mean, it's almost like, Jimmy, that's what I was, no, you spot on. Absolutely. So right, as a freshman. So, more than likely he's going to win that legal battle. I do agree as well. It should be some type of cap. I mean, you're going to have to do something, man, but again, man, you got to put it in writing. You have to make sure that it's concrete, or people are going to expose the loopholes. We're going to keep having that. I mean, if you're a parent, do you want a grown man that's 28 years old, 29 out there, like you said, coach, with your 18-year-old son, and more than likely he's doing it, if he is looking to get to the next level, because obviously you're physically more dominant if you're playing with kids. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to, pad his stats and have another great season. So, if he does have that opportunity to go to the next level, it'll look that much better, at least on paper anyway. So definitely some changes that need to be made.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and a lot of you young kids watch, because like they said, Mikey Mitchell, he might be competing with this cat. They keep giving him extra years. So let's get on to our next topic, you guys. We're rocking and rolling Locker Room Show. Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and share. We got the great Terrell Henderson with us. This one was real interesting, man. You guys, last year Florida State should have probably went to the playoffs. If it was this year, they would have went to the playoffs. Obviously, they lost Jordan Travis, and everything fell off for them. Almost undefeated season, except for the championship game. But this year, you guys, everything is falling apart. They are at the bottom of the ACC. They only got about 100 points this whole year. Guys are getting fired. Guys are decommitting, and I'm just wondering, has Norvell lost the locker room? How did all this happen so fast? So, this guy's got a big buyout, but you're a coach, man, and there really is something to lose in the locker room and not being able to get it back. In your opinion, do you think that Florida State can get this back with Mike Norvell, or do you think they just got to scrap the whole thing?
Terrell? Man. Whew. I think the building is burning, man. I think the building is burning right now. I'm thinking about, first of all, when Norvell was hired, I didn't particularly think it was a big splash hire. I mean, he was a hot coordinator, commodity and whatnot. I didn't think for Florida State's, lineage that it was a big splash hire. But okay, I'll say maybe I'm not up on this guy as much as I need to be. Watching Florida State, man, this year, it's tough, man. It's hard watching it. I can't even get through a whole game, watching it. I was a DJ fan when he was at Bosco, in Southern California. Here on the West Coast, I was a real big DJ ukulele fan and whatnot. You got the portal, interfering with things, and from that aspect. And so overall, I just think that you got these guys coming in and out playing, musical chairs with the roster, and it's like, where's the cohesion? Where's the love? Where's the brotherhood? I heard Dan Lanning the other day talk about why Oregon is where they are, and they talk about love and how they love each other. You know what I mean? And the things they do with each other in the off season and as a team. And so when I watch this team play, I don't see guys playing for each other. I don't see the love. I don't see the brotherhood. Right. And it's disheartening to watch. It's painful to watch. And so what does that mean? If the team's not performing, who does that fall on? That falls on the head coach, and it falls on the coaches. I see that he got rid of some of his coordinators and position coaches, a wide receiver coach, I believe. And but at the end of the day, he's still there collecting the big paycheck. And if they let him go, he's gonna be wherever he's gonna be, or on his couch collecting the big paycheck. So either way, he's not going to lose out in the pockets, but at the end of the day, I feel like all is lost. I feel like this ship cannot be righted. I feel like they need somebody new in there, and so they need a big name, big splash hire to get Florida State back to where Florida State was. So that's
okay. Guru, I mean, man, this dude almost went undefeated last year.
Yeah.
And now he's just defeated.
You're right.
How do you get it back? Is it done? What does the Guru say? You the AD at Florida State.
Hey, well, here's the thing. It can't be where you're just cocking back and just throwing out bags, right? That's not going to work either, in regards to recruiting. I agree with Coach. You're going to have to get, and it doesn't even have to be a big name per se. I mean, that might help, but you need to have a guy that has a long-standing history of getting kids to buy in and taking programs and getting them back in the top and getting them in the poll and staying there, right? And that's easier said than done. Obviously, you got the portal, but you're gonna have to have a heck of a coach with patience and a staff. And there, whoever it's gonna be, it's everything is now. Jimmy, you gonna have to get out of my head tonight, because I was thinking the same damn thing, man. They should have went with Deion, right? That was the first mistake, and you see how he's panning out in Colorado. And I definitely agree, Coach Bowden rolled over in his grave 2 or 3 times by now. But that's the thing about a great coach, man. That's how you can tell great coaches, because it's not always about the maximum amount of talent. It's about taking the talent that you do have and getting these kids to buy in and getting them to execute week after week after week. That's what a good coach is. That's why you can have coaches that are, like with Boise State, they don't have a bunch of first round guys, but they crush people because they have a bunch of kids that buy in and execute. That is how you win football games.
All right. That's big right there, you guys. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at Florida State. They re-up with Norvell, let them come back, or if they go get somebody new. But they better make a decision fast, because signing day's coming up. We're on to our next topic, you guys, ripping and running through the show. This one was very interesting. With social media nowadays, we see everything. And you athletes and you coaches need to remember that everything is seen as soon as you leave the house. So this is the great Jake Pope that had a not so great moment after UGA lost to Ole Miss. And he was seen a little bit blurry here, but this is pictures of a video where he was seen, you guys, partying, laughing, dancing it up with some Ole Miss fans. Now, Ole Miss, these fans were people he knew personally. So it did come out that he knew these people from school, but they were Ole Miss fans. Happy to see them. And he's celebrating with them, enjoying the big win. Kirby Smart had to apologize because he actually blasted the kid and said he was stupid for letting a video like that come out. I don't know how it played out with his teammates, but I wanted to run this by you. Talk to me a little bit, T. I mean, you see video of one of your Riordan players dancing with SI guys. How is that looked at in the locker room of Riordan High School?
Man, listen, you already know where I'm going with this, man. We were at the R, man. You couldn't even SI week wear red, right? You couldn't even wear red. You could Sacred Heart week, you couldn't wear green. Like, we was serious about it, right? And everybody abided by that, right? It was real serious when it came to arch rivals and nemesis and things like that. So we was real serious about that school spirit and those colors. Like you said, this social media world and these generations and with these kids and things like that, man, it just, I don't know, man. I mean, I come from an era where on a bus ride home after a loss, you couldn't say one word. We couldn't say a peep. Nothing was funny. Not one thing was funny. So what are you laughing at? UGA losing to Ole Miss. What's funny? What's to celebrate?
Yeah.
Friends or no friends, I don't get it. I come from an era where that just don't resonate with me at all. It's just like, I'm not going to even spend too much time on it, man. And, you know, one of our kids is doing that. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just don't do that. You don't watch
it. That's a no, man. Come on, with Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. Like, you know, SEC, they going at it. They taking each other's heads off every single week, right? Just like in the WCL, from top to bottom, right? Everybody is getting after everybody. So I'm not sure what was funny, what was laughable, but that's just a no. You know, for those listening out there, you got to have some pride, man. You got to show some pride. Like, if you laughing after a loss and it affects your season, man, Georgia is looking to go undefeated and win the national champion every year. So how does this game now affect their season and the outcome, college playoffs, league championship, all of that, right? And so it just don't abide in line with Kirby Smith's standard, you know? So for all those youngsters listening out there, man, you gotta be serious about your craft. This is not a game.
Big time right there, you guys. And I love the response from this man, because you're getting a few layers. You're getting a few elements here. You're getting somebody who's done it. You're getting somebody that's coming from a different era, different time. And then you also getting somebody that's currently coaching today. So you got a little bit there that you need to chew on. Talk to me, Guru. I mean, you at Kansas, you playing Kansas State. You guys get a little whooped up. And then the video come out that your homeboy, is back there dancing and partying and having a good time. How's it go down in Jayhawk?
I mean, man, not even K-State, but I mean, at that time, it Mizzou. Like, that was beyond bitter, man. And I mean, obviously, man, Mizzou, I had a ton of my own high school teammates at Mizzou. A ton, and it was like, nah, man, like that's what makes college football what it is. It's the rivalries. It's the Ohio State Michigans. It's the Michigan Notre Dame games. It's the Washington State. That's what that bitterness is like. This type of this type of behavior can't exist, right? Like, you would never it's the Alabama and Auburn, man. I mean, these rivals go back for decades and decades and decades, man. So yeah, man, it would have to be a serious talk. As a coach, but it'd be one of those things where I'm sure, man, like, his teammates, man, probably had a nice long, isolated, ugly conversation with him too. And I get it, man, but those are people like, hey, if you knew them, man, from high school, whatever the relationship is, hey, man, I'll get with y'all later, whatnot, man. You're supposed to be feeling some type of way if you just got your behind handed to you anyway on live television. So I don't see how you jumping around like that, man, and you just lost, like that's not what a competitor is, man. Like, this is the ultimate gladiator sport. So you taking a loss, like, that should hurt you as a man, so I don't understand how his behavior was that anyway.
That's Jimmy saying the portal's changing things, and yeah, man. I mean, I played in the heated Colorado, Nebraska days, man. Seeing grown men crying after
Yeah,
games.
man. Yeah.
I couldn't do that. You can do
Serious,
that.
man. It's serious. It gets
Hey, man.
serious. You be in
Yeah.
your feelings.
I'm
You
telling
won't
you.
even go out that night.
I'm telling you. I remember
Exactly.
Baltimore Zoo games.
The old lady know that she better not even mess with you that night. So no, I love it, you guys, and thank you. I thought I knew the response I would get from these two gentlemen, and there you go. I got what I thought I was going to get. So we are on to our next topic, you guys, and we are enjoying ourselves with the great Terrell Henderson. This is my boy from way back, held me down. We are on to the lightning round, you guys, and I'm excited about this lightning round with this gentleman since round, baby, is where we put our guests through a 60-second gauntlet, a 60-second blitz, where they got to tell us the first thing that comes to their mind, unfiltered. Unfiltered. This man's coaching at a Catholic school, so he can keep it at least unfiltered. And I got a good list. And we want to hear the first thing that comes to your mind, to Terrell Henderson's mind. All right. Let me get my stopwatch ready. Now, I'm hoping this gentleman wins this because I need to go to lunch with him anyway. But we got a lunch on this. So if he can get to 15 or higher, it's a lunch on the locker room show or a dinner on the locker room show, T. So, and it ain't going to be the Crab House or nothing like a Roost Chris, but you got a dinner or a lunch on the locker room show. So we got him at zeros, y'all. And we're going to get into it. This is the lightning round. First thing that comes to his head. All right. You ready to go, big dog?
Let's get to it.
All
right. Number one. He's got 60 seconds, y'all. He's got to get to 15. He gets one with Tech-Delay. All right. Number one. First thing that comes to your mind. Riordan High School. Go.
Brotherhood.
Mikey Mitchell.
High character.
Best player you ever played against. Go fast.
Cool. Keyshawn Johnson.
Favorite Bay Area restaurant.
Crab House.
Ride an elephant or swim with dolphins.
Ride the elephant. I can't swim. Just a little bit.
St. Ignatius High School.
I'm a rabbit till I die.
John Elway or Dan Marino. 48 seconds.
Oh, I'm gonna take Elway.
Favorite football movie.
The Titans. Remember the Titans.
Cheesecake or apple pie.
Cheesecake.
Coach or deer.
Good friend.
Time.
All right, let's go. We got to count them up.
We'll count them up and add them up. I got to coach you up, bro.
That always gets everybody, man. We always say this every week, boy. That best you ever played against, man. Because when you go through so many great players, you done locked up. Like, damn, that's a hard question.
Man, he froze me on that one.
Yeah, it gets everybody.
And that SI one, because I was getting let him have it on the SI one.
You got to be politically correct. He did the right thing. I saw the first thought bubble, and then he said, let me be politically correct. He's still in the league. So I love it. All right, you guys, so let's add them up and revisit as we always do. You guys know that 15 is the number. 14 is the number because he gets one with Tech-Delay. But let's see what he got. So, number one, Riordan High School, our alma mater. He says the Brotherhood. Number two, Michael Mitchell, a superstar quarterback committed to Vanderbilt. High character. Definitely high character. Number three, best you've ever played against. He said Keyshawn Johnson, number one wideout receiver. Favorite Bay Area restaurant for number four. He said the Crab House. Number five, ride an elephant, swim with the dolphin. He said, don't put me in the water. I'm going on the elephant. Number six, St. Ignatius, our rival. He said the Rabbits, and always will be. Number 7, John Elway or Dan Marino. T. Hen says, I'm going with John Elway on that one. Number 8, favorite football movie. He says, Remember the Titans on that one. Great movie. Number 9, cheesecake or apple pie. He's going with the cheesecake on that one. Number 10, Coach Adair, the head coach at Riordan. He says, good friend. So with the tech delay, he's got 11, ladies and gentlemen. And we appreciate you, brother, for coming on in the lightning round. So you guys, we are on to our last segment of the show. Thank you for joining us. You guys are getting some sauce. You guys are getting some games. You got to run this one back, and some of you guys may be facing some of these situations. Don't party with the enemy. But we go into the audience question. And I know, Q, you got something for T. And then if somebody has a question in the comment section and you're live with us, feel free to ask the question. But Guru, I know you got something, baby.
Definitely. So, Coach, the question for this evening is, man, week to week, you got a tough conference, like Coach Wood was saying. What do you and Coach and do the rest of the staff do to get them mentally prepared, man, week to week, in a conference like that, man, to be competitive?
Man, so I don't know if you know, but we had some really high expectations this year, right? To be the WCL champions with all of the talent that we have, all the recruits, commits and things like that. And there was a lot of naysayers who doubted us and whatnot when we ended up being 2 or 4 and dropped a few. And so one of the things we had to do was, you had them players only meetings and them real coach heart to heart talks. It's not always pretty. It's not always, it don't always go in everyone's favor. But at the end of the day, you got a common goal. And in the WCAL, anybody can beat anybody if you prepare. And so how we just kept the team focused. We had to come to Jesus talk. And so how we just looked at it like, man, listen, look at what we not doing. Right? We beating ourselves. We watching film and look what we doing. We beating ourselves. Are we really doing what we saying? We went back to our goals at the beginning of the year. Are we really doing what we said we were going to do and how we were going to go about doing it? And so to win in the WCAL every week, you got to be up for it. You just got to be ready, man. You got to prepare in the weight room. You got to prepare in the classroom. You got to prepare on the field. And so, man, every week you just got to be up. It's a big game every single week. Every week is a playoff game.
That's what's up.
That's huge, man. Yeah. As far as the recruiting side of things, how does that working for you guys? I know a lot of schools, big schools are coming by. What makes a kid, for those listening, what makes a kid recruitable to go to? Everybody want to go D1, T, like you did, but what makes a kid eligible to play at that level?
You got to take care of business in the classroom. Like, first and foremost, you got to take care of business in the classroom. When we played, there was no NCAA clearinghouse, right? The guidelines weren't as stringent back then, right? And so you could sneak some good players in there and build a roster of some guys that was on the cusp and barely getting it done. You know what I'm saying? You could build some good rosters and good teams and bowl teams like that. Now you got to go through the clearinghouse, right? They did away, with the SAT, the ACT. I guess, I heard they're bringing it back or whatnot. I'm not sure where we stand in that regard. But, you got to take care of business in the classroom, right? You need to have some good high character, right? I see these kids these days on the social media. They got these songs with derogatory words, in regards to race, women, and all sorts of things, right? Throwing up, sets and gang signs and things like that. Like, colleges and people are looking at that. It's too much at stake and invested in this now for folks to just take a chance on somebody that's coming along with a lot of baggage, whether it's the kid, the family, the parents, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So you need to have high character, and be pristine clean, right? Stay out of trouble, man. Stay off that social media with the negativity, because, folks may judge you for that. You may lose a prime opportunity, in that regard. So, I would say those few things to kick it off.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
That's
So,
loss right there,
hey,
definitely.
yeah. You young athletes right there, man. Big show tonight. And T, I know you guys are getting ready for playoffs, man. I know that you weren't expecting to come on tonight, but you held us down. So we love you, appreciate you, man. And keep representing the schools. Keep representing the schoolhouse.
Yes, sir. You gonna be there? You coming? You gonna be there? What you gonna do?
Saturday, right?
Saturday at 1 p.m. Yeah, 3C
Okay.
versus
I got a
6C.
meeting in the morning, and I got a 12:30, and I'm gonna be late, but I'm coming. I'm coming, baby.
It's
So
going down.
Y'all gotta
If
show
not,
out.
y'all catch it on NFHS. Catch it on the broadcast on the stream. Catch it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
Going down.
guys, there you have it. The great Terrell Henderson, man. That is my OG Q. That's the boy that held me down, man, and helped me stay focused. And now he's back to high school, dude, getting these kids right. They right,
man.
Boy.
You got man, but every program has to have that, man. Like I said, man, I remember, man, my high school teammate, man, Reggie Germany, man. I remember we were coming back in the summers, man, back of the Hazelwood East, man, the workout before everybody had to go back to school. And he used to tell me, man, man, like you go back, man, in the summer, man, up to Columbus, and you see Joey Galloway and Terry Glenn up there getting work in. You know what I mean? And it's like you have to have, man, those older cats, man. Where it's like, man, they set the bar, man. Okay, cool. I know what I got ahead of me. I know what I got to get done, man. Every program has to have it. Every successful program has to have it.
Yeah. I see Ari coming in. Thank you for joining us, Coach Woods. What are your thoughts? Why did the NCS, CCS get so strict on where parents can send their kids? Housing is expensive, need to move to cheaper areas, and maybe kids want to play at Riordan. No, that's a great question, and it's crazy that you're bringing that up, Ari, because I was just talking to a family, Q, in Georgia, and you're in Texas, man. They do what they got to do to get the players.
I'm telling you,
they do what they got to do. And Ari, my opinion is the NCS, CCS is very, very competitive. It's getting very serious, just like some of the conferences down south in LA. And kids are getting poached. There's somebody whistleblowing, so they're just trying to shut it down for everybody. And unfortunately, when you're in a position where you do need to move to an area that's a little bit less expensive, but you don't want to hurt your kid and get your kid, suspended or lose games because he transferred, it makes it difficult. It does make it difficult. So, that's why I think they did that, is because there were schools. I'm not going to mention any schools I was about to, but there were schools that were getting a lot of talented kids that weren't from the area. And then the NCS and the CCS said, hey, we got to put some very strict rules around this. But in Georgia, if you can say, hey, my kid needed to go to this school because my job or because where we live, me and my wife are split up, the school that really wants this, I'm talking to a parent now, the school that really wants that kid will pay for the condo. They will pay for whatever 100%. You need to do job, and make sure that no issues are had as far as your eligibility. And that's in Georgia. And the same thing in Texas, like Tennyson and Hayward had.
I was about to say. Oh no, go ahead.
They had a losing season last year. Yeah, that's just what that is, Ari. That's bad legislation. That's probably an old rule. And they're not. They're just painting a brush. They're just painting a brush. They're not finding out what these kids' situations are.
No, I mean, they did that, man, back in St. Louis with Hazelwood East and Hazelwood Central, and they redrew the lines on the map. So basically, Hazelwood Central received all the kids that were supposed to be going to my alma mater, which is why we were a powerhouse, even though we were a public school.
But who redrew the map?
Exactly. That's my point. We're already making a comment. Sometimes if you pull the curtain back, some people just have it out for a particular school or two, and it's personal, but it
or
doesn't
they want to
look
help
that way on paper. Yeah. Exactly. And you would never know that, but I promise you it's like that, depending sometimes where they just have it out for a particular school and they make sure that school suffers.
Or coach, yeah.
Yeah, or coach, yeah. That's real.
No, it's getting dirty, Ari, and it gets real dirty down south. But you know, that California is strict. It's super strict. You're gonna probably lose 4 games off the bat. Unless you can really prove something, you're gonna lose 4 games off the bat, probably transferring schools in Cali. I had a kid in PA right now, and they make them lose it on the back end. So he was fine all season. Then they get to the playoffs, and I talked to his dad. I said, "What happened?" I'm not gonna say his name. Did he get hurt? Because I see him in the picture with his friends, but he didn't have his uniform on. He just had the jersey. I said, "What happened? He get hurt? What? You know, please don't tell me it's nothing social." And he said, "No, he transferred." And in PA, where he's at, it's at the end of the season, so he can't play playoff. They go to state, can't play.
Wow.
California is on the front end of your season.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's different in every state, Ari. But you know, reach out to us. We probably already know each other, but reach out. Let's try to figure something out if there's a situation. But that's crazy at Tennyson. That is crazy. And then Jimmy saying down in Mississippi and South Panda, all those places, up in Old High School, they did that. So,
yeah.
All right, you guys. So hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed us tonight. Once again, like, subscribe, and share. We want to have the best football community on YouTube. Guru, you get myself, you're getting a great guest every single week. So make sure you share, tell everybody that you know to join us in the locker room, all right? And then it's a big weekend for a lot of you guys too. So Guru, anything before we get out, baby?
Hey, Coach, I got to tell them again, make plays. It's playoff time, make plays. And hit that button.
That's the first play right there. That's the first play you need to make. Hit that button. Some of you athletes out there need some recruiting support. Reach out to us at Before You Go Pro. Tons of examples of athletes that we've helped get off to the next level. And then, of course, some of you guys are interested in NIL too. Check out NILLC.org. NILLC.org. Make sure that you know how to make money, save money, grow your money as a student athlete. All right, baby. So, hey, you heard the Guru. Make plays, baby. Make sure you're watching football this weekend. Stay out of trouble. This is Guru. I'm Coach Wood. We'll see you at the top. Have a good one.